If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with all my latest videos.
Well, hi guys, welcome to Life of Gaz, and today I'm fishing back out here on the Gynn wall. Unfortunately it's another calm sea today, but it is my only day off this week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish with some smaller hooks, because this sea doesn't look like it's going to hold many cod or bass in it today. So with any luck I might target some smaller fish with the smaller hooks that I've got.
Setting up today, I'm fishing flapper rigs on both rods, and I'm fishing with 2-0 hooks on the bottom, and I'm fishing with bigger hooks, 4-0s up on the top. Now I'm only fishing with worm today, and this is all freshly dug, so with any luck that will attract the fish and bring them in. But like I said in the intro, it is very flat and very calm, and this doesn't always produce fish down on this mark. And I started the session by putting one in short and one in about mid distance further out in a nice big hole I seen at low water. And after about a biteless hour, I decided to take the rod out mid distance and then punch that one out a bit further up onto the sandbank, and this paid off. Within about 10 minutes I managed to pick up my first bite. And not unsurprisingly, for a tide in a weather condition like this, especially at this time of year, it was a whiting that came in. And this little whiting measured in at about 28 centimeters, weighed in at 7 ounces, but unfortunately he was fairly deep hooked and didn't survive the unhooking process, so he came home with me. And again, on the rod out at distance, I picked up another bite. Now this was giving me a clue that that was where the fish were, so after this cast, what I'd done was I actually moved both rods out to that distance to try and hit as many fish as I could. This fish came up to the surface fairly far out, and I could see this fish from quite a way out was actually the first of a dogfish of that day. Now this little guy felt heavy when it was on the line, and to be fair, I wasn't really expecting dogfish today. And this guy was returned off the top of the wall back to swim off to see another day. And I recast back out to the same spot, and within 3 minutes my rod tip went again. Now I can feel straight away this is a very similar fish as in another dogfish, because dogfish, if you try and bring them in quick, what they do, rather than trying to swim side to side, especially if you're bringing them in from height like off the wall, what they'll then do is they'll then try and wrap themselves up the line and try and push the hook out of their mouth, which inadvertently actually can set the hook even better. Now if you bring these guys in slowly, I find they just tend to swim along with you, but I got this guy up on the surface fairly quick, and using the 50-pound line which I got, I was able to bring him in and release him in a very short space of time. not 100% sure what they were doing, whether they were picking people up to take to oil rigs and back, but throughout the last sort of maybe half an hour of this fishing trip, I've seen probably 6 helicopters go backwards and forwards up and down this little bit of coastline. Not fishing, but seeing them that close, they're still cool to watch. Then finally, after most of the day of my other rod doing absolutely nothing and not getting a single bite, I got a tiny little rod rattle up on the top and decided to strike into it, and that rod picked up that one's first fish of the day. And this turned out to be the only fish caught on that rod that day, another small whiting. Now this little fish unfortunately was quite deep hooked, but just like the method I use in my video of unhooking deep hooked fish, I managed to reverse the hook, slide the hook back out through his gills, clip him to the weight and send him gently down to the sea, which he then swam off to fight another day.
Well guys, that's another trip finished on Life of Gaz. We ended up with 2 whiting and 2 dogfish. Not bad considering the weather conditions, and in fact a little bit better than I thought I'd do. But if you like this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button down here. Check out my last video just here, and also my fishing playlist up there.